Hey guys, hello and welcome, and this is going to be the second chapter video and maybe part 3 or 4. I think I already uploaded part 3, so part 2, now 3, 4 is ready. Now we're gonna make it part 5. So what we will do is in this video we will talk about the tooling up. Now the objectives. After reading this chapter, the reader should be able to explain the importance of awareness when approaching the automobile, list the level of commitment for maintenance of the automobile, list the safety precautions for car care, list the different tasks and tools necessary for the different level of commitment. Awareness, a starting point. If you want to save money and increase the reliability of your car, you should try to take an active role in its upkeep and maintenance. If you don't, you will eventually be forced to seek help for a major problem or breakdown. There are some simple things you can do to get ready to greatly reduce the chance of a major problem or breakdown. These books assume that you are starting with a little or no knowledge and that you want to learn what maintenance should be done for maximum dependability and economy. You will also learn what tools you will need. Whatever your reasons for learning about your car, the first tools you need is an increased awareness of your car maintenance and repair needs. Even if you don't want to become a full-fledged technician, you should try to learn what maintenance should be done regularly. Take a few minutes to read through your owner's manual and note the recommendations maintenance schedule. So nothing thrive, no neglect. Preventive maintenance can stop problems from occurring. With a small investment of time and interest, you can become aware of some of your car's need and help to avoid expensive breakdowns. For example, there are two simple checks you can make as you walk towards your parked car. Look at the tires. Look at the tires. Soft tires spell trouble. Eat pay to be sure that your car tires are inflated probably according to the car's manufacturer's recommendations. After you are inflated, look at them carefully. It's more difficult to judge when radial tires are probably inflated because their sidewalls always have a characteristic plug. Even so, each time you approach the car, look at each of the tires and compares what you see with your mental image of properly filled tires. If you are in doubt, check them with a good quality tire pressure gauge. At the very least, you will risk damage to expensive tires by driving on them while they are under inflated. At worst, you are risking your life. Number two, look for wet spot or puddles under or around the car. Puddles can spell troubles. They can be engine oil, brownish or oily, automatic transmission fluid, reddish and oily, power steering fluid, reddish or light brownish oily, engine coolant green, red, blue or other watery sticky liquid, that is engine coolant. Now brake fluid, clear to brownish, smell like ether. Gasoline, clear, strong smelling, also a fire hazard. Water, condensation from air conditioning systems, no problem. So there are those major oils. I mean, those are the oils you need to check if there are leakage or any other wet spot around this puddle. So engine oil or automatic transmission fluid, ATF, power steering fluid, engine coolant, brake fluid, and gasoline and water. Under a front wheel driver transaxle or under a rear wheel driver manuals, transmissions or differential, there may be oil or grease spots. Inside the wheel, you might notice leaking brake fluid. Any of those signs could be warning you of trouble, but don't jump to conclusion. Spot or fluid on the ground could have been left by another vehicle. So don't judge quickly. If you are in doubt, check further whether you normally park your car. Place a large piece of cardboard or several sheets of newspaper under the area of the car where you found the spots. Leave it there overnight. If something is leaking, you will find a fresh puddle on top of the cardboard or paper the next morning. Also try to note the location of the leaked relatives to the car. It may help you determine where the leak is coming from. But remember that as you drive, air flowing past the car can push their fluid towards the rear of the vehicles before it drips off. Also, the fluid will flow downwards from the source of the leakage. Just to be sure, you should check the fluid level as described in the chapter 3. Tend to help determine which fluid may be leaking. If you found brake fluid leaking onto the ground, you should have the car's brake inspected by a licensed professional technician. As soon as possible. Brakes are your car's most important safety system. Fuel leaks are extremely dangerous as gasoline is very flammable. Don't start your car if you find a puddle of gasoline. Have the leak repaired immediately. In the chapter the following, you will find more information about those leaks may mean and what you can do about them just by checking regularity for tires conditions and for leaks. You have developed and use the first and most essential tool for effective car care systems, your awareness. Level of commitment. It is up to you how involved you get in maintaining your own car. Think about how much time you can invest. Some repairs can be time consuming, but even a little time could save you a lot of money and life. If you find it interesting to work on mechanical devices, or if you can gain satisfaction from fixing things yourself, you will probably enjoy a commitment to car maintenance and repair. Think about those things before you start buying tools. A commitment to get involved in the car repair of your own car can lead to an investment of from less than $100 to several $1,000s. You may already have some of the tools needed for basic maintenance of your car, or you may want to add to your tool set. So you really can't do much maintenance on your car unless you are willing to invest at least $1,100 or maybe 7 to 10,000. For the same, you can hire people to change the oil and lubricate your car for as long as a year. But this approach only take care of the short-term engine maintenance. If you are uncertain, move ahead in stages. Get acquainted with simple car check and maintenance before you plunge ahead to advanced work. This chapter is organized to help you to understand the tool you need in reflections in relations to the level of commitment you want to make. Your commitment to car care can involve a number of different levels. You can start at the basics level, supported by a few common basic tools. After that, you can add tools at each level. The decisions level open to you are First is inspection and basic maintenance under the hood, inspection and basic maintenance under the car, inspection and maintenance and minor repair under the hood and under the car. So tune up and basics electric work like diagnostics, advanced electric and fuel injection system work, and major mechanical repair. Engine and transmission overall jobs. So the last three like diagnostics, advanced electric, fuel injection system work, and major mechanical repairs, and engine and transmission overhaul jobs. So those list on the list, diagnostics and advanced electric, major mechanical, are not for novice. You may want to get into this kind of work only if you find that cars hold a real fascinations for you. But before you do any kind of work on your car, you should become familiar with the safety precautions that follow. Safety precautions for car care. You should realize that there are potential dangers to be avoided when you check or work on cars. For example, an engine that has been running has parts that are hot enough to cause serious burns. In addition, you can be injured seriously if a race car which is supported only by a jack fall on you. A little common sense will go a long way towards avoiding problems. Don't take chance, avoid unsafe situations, and follow all safety recommendations. To learn about specific safety hazards to be avoided and specific safety precautions to be taken on a particular job, ask your instructor or refer to the manufacturer's service manual before you being work. As a general guidance for your continuing safety and health, and read about and follow the safety practices listed here. Learn and remember the values before you go on to the review of maintenance level that follow. Wear eye protections. First thing is wearing a sunglass, not sunglass, any glass that you can see something clearly. Obviously wear glasses, so wear eye protections where you work on cars. Safety glasses, goggles or full face shield can prevent eye injuries, infections and possible blindness. Remove watches. So while you are working, remove watches, ring, neck and ankle chains and all other jewelry from your body before you start work. So those items can be catch by moving parts and cause serious injury. Do not wear loose clothes that can be catch it moving parts. Track in sherry-tails, wow, whatever, and roll up long sleeves or wear short sleeve sheets or blouses when you work on a running engine. If you have long hair, tie it into a tight ponytail, then pin the ponytail to the top of your head or stuff it down the back of your shirt or blouse. Work in well ventilated areas. Never run the engine in a closed garage or other enclosed area. Carbon monoxide gas from the exhaust is poisonous and cannot be seen or detected by smell. So poison carbon monoxide. Be very careful. This is, you can't smell it, but it is very dangerous. Work on cars only when you are feeling fit and well. Never work on car if you are tired, ill or have taken drugs that can cause drowsiness or that can impair mental or physical functions. Whenever possible, work with friends or partners, or difficulties and safety problem may rise with which you may need assistance. Perform all repairs and maintenance in accordance with the car manufacturer's recommendations. As printed in the manufacturer's service manual, the car care book include generalized procedure for common maintenance job, but it cannot anticipate all the variations that may be found on different marks and models of car. So this is the glass, or you can say a protections. Best is if you protect your eyes as well as your face and nose. That is very important. You can wear this. So special glasses or face protector are among the type of eye protections available for work on a car. Always wear eye protections when you do any work or on or around a car. This is very safe, very important, I feel. So what are those measures I mentioned here? First is eye protection, then remove all your accessories, wearing jewelries, and then wear tight fit. I mean, don't wear any loose fit clothes because it may the clothes may track. So if you have a long hair, then cut it. The better is that if you are then or make a pointail and give pin. Work in well ventilated area definitely, and work on cars only when you are feeling well fit, and have some assistant. If anything wrong happen, you can take safety precautions. And I would recommend is wearing gloves. Yeah, gloves is not mentioned. Wearing whenever you use a tight fit gloves is important because it's safe, it not take your hand, so keep it in mind. Another many are in the list, so make sure you have the correct tools, parts, supplies and materials before you begin work. Do not substitute or try to improvise with makeshift tool, parts or suppliers. So don't put your own mind. So yes, definitely whatever is mentioned, do it in that way. So have a source of fresh clean water nearby to flash out eye and minor wound. It is also a good idea to have a first aid kit handy whenever you work on cars. So keep a first aid kit. Whenever possible, avoid working on running engine on or on that is still hot. So don't work on a hot engine or engine is running. But yeah, when you need to check, you can check it like, but don't run the engine when it's open. So serious burn can result from touching a hot exhaust system, cooling systems or other engine parts. So if possible, allow the engine to cool down for several hours before you begin work. So engine is something going to be hot and it create exhaust, so many things happen. So keep yourself in a safe distance while engine is running. Let it cool, then work. So if you must work on a running engine, stay clear of all moving parts including belts, pulley and fan blades. A spinning fan may be impossible to see. A spinning fan is impossible to see. Serious injury or loss of limbs can result if you are catch in moving machinery. So keep at a safe distance in a moving machineries, especially the parts including belts, pulley and fan blades. Work in well lighted area. Light is very important. So well light area so that you can see what's going on area, and use a safety drop light with a gauge around the bulb. If a bare bulb breaks, the hot filament can ignite fuel or other flammable vapor and cause a fire. So nowadays we have a LEDs, so keep LEDs with a good connect wiring. Drop lights that use fluorescent or LED lamps are safer. Incandescent lamp and more energy efficient, so use LEDs. Positions the car on a flat and level surface before you begin work. Position the car on a flat or level surface before you begin work. Never work on a car that is on an incline. Never work. Put the transmissions of park automatic transmissions or in a gear manual transmission and set the parking brake firmly. Always place large wheel chalk or block both in front and in back of the wheel that remain on the ground to prevent the car from rolling, or especially if you are going to raise the car. Now in many garages I see a lift to lift the car. We use yes, to we carry the car. It's very dangerous. Keep safe, be safe there. Okay, so what was I talking? Yes, raise and support the car properly and safely according to the recommendations in the manufacturer's service manual. Never put any part of your body under a car that is supported only by jack. A jack is only used to raise or lower the car. Always use safety stand or jack stand or safely support a car. Always disconnect the ground cable, typically the negative battery terminal when you work on the electric system. These precautions will prevent spark, fire and damage to electrical parts. So disconnect the negative side of the battery. Have a fire exhausters that will exhausting class ABC fire. Do not use a heater with an open flame to heat the work area. With an electric heater, place as far away as possible from the car and for any gasoline, because car have oil. Okay, it's run with an engine and it's high chance to get fire or other flammable liquids. Heat and other ignition source can ignite fuel vapor, flammable liquids and hydrogen gas produced by the battery. And collect oil, fuel brakes fluid and other liquids only in approved metal or heavy plastic containers that can hold more liquid than you expect to drain. Do not use food or beverage containers that might be reused. Class of fire. So here is class A. Class A fire is a green. For ordinary combustible. Okay, here is some fire safety batches here. Let's discuss. Typical fuel involve wood, paper. If any fuel is like fuel of, I mean, if somewhere wood is burning, wood, paper, cloth, rubber, plastics or rubbish or upholstery, then we can use class A fire. So ordinary combustible put out a class A fire by lowering its temperature or by coating the burning combustions. So water form or the type of exhauster is water form or multipurpose dry chemical. So in B class, gasoline, oil, grease, paint or lighter fluid. Then we need to use foam, carboxide, carbon dioxide, halogen agent, standard dry chemicals or purple K dry chemicals or multipurpose dry chemicals. If that is motor appliance, wiring or fuse box or switch box, then we need carbon, basically a multipurpose dry chemical. Or if it is fire caused by aluminium, magnesium, potassium, sodium, titanium or zinchromium or zirconium, xyromium. Okay, so dry powder exhausters and agent only. So dry powder is needed for that. Here are some notes. May cause injury, definitely. To existing different type of fire. Here you see gasoline, oil range safety container. Never use any kind of it. So do not use non-approved container. Dispose of liquid in accordance with all local and federal environmental and safety standards. Avoid spilling or storing fuel, other flammable liquids near any source of open flame or spark, including gas, water, heaters, and electrical switch. Whip up all spill immediately. Store soaked, rage, and flammable liquid in approved metal safety containers with the tight fitting laid and to prevent fires. See, fire safety is very, you need to be very concerned about it whenever you are going to repair a car. So these things you must have this kind of stuff, right? The safety precautions is important. Inspections and basic maintenance under the hood. At this level, tools are virtually no problem. You should have a flashlights or Sturdy screwdriver and a pair of pliers. Beyond that, you simply need to learn what you look for. Basics under the hood maintenance, including cranking or refilling the engine oil in your crankcase, cranking and refilling the engine oil in your crankcase, checking or refilling the coolant in your cooling system, checking and refilling brake fluid level in the reservoir, or checking refilling battery electrolyte if possible. So here is few things need to be checked. Checking battery cables for crossing and tightness. A tire pressure gauge with a range of 0 to 60 psi should be used to check automobile tire pressure. This is the way we check pressure. Okay, checking and refilling fluid levels in the power steering systems. If your car has one, if you have power steering, checking and replacing the air and breath filters, looking for wear or cracks in belt, looking for what wear or leak for hose and around clamps, looking for oil or coolant leak, checking or refilling the fluid in your automatic transmissions if equipped with dipstick. On most of those jobs, the only things you need is a range or paper towel to wipe off the dipsticks as you check oil levels. As you will see later in the book, you may need a screwdriver to pair or of pliers to check the brake fluid or the air filter. There is one very important basics maintenance function that doesn't take place under the hood: checking trip pressures. A good quality tire pressure gauge will pay for itself many times over if you take a few minutes to use it once a week or any times when you try look low over the life of an average car. Tires are the most expensive parts you will replace on a regular basis. Inspection and basics maintenance under the car. Many of your car parts, especially those of the suspension, steerings and exhaust systems, can be seen and reached only from underneath. To assure your safety, it is necessary periodically to check those systems and other parts on the underside of the car. If you decide to do the basics maintenance check under the car, you will need to some items to raise the car safety. You need a set of blocks to hold the wheel. You can use a car jacks and some sturdy jack stands. The car must be safely support by jack stands before performing any inspections or work under the vehicles. Be sure to buy the correct capacity jackets and jacks and jack stands to support the weights of your car. A small probable hydraulic floor jack, which is easier to use than the standard equipments jacks that come with a car in shows. So this is a four and for under car work: a set of jack Stand should be used to support the car safety, and never place any part of your body under a car supported only by jack. Such jacks come in several size and weight lifting capacity. To get under the car comfortably, you may want to buy a creeper, which is a board that rests on 4 or 6 castles. You lie on the creep, usually face up, and push yourself into positive positions under the elevated car with your feet. Once you have invested in the equipment you need to get under your car, the basic maintenance steps you perform can add greatly to your safety and reduce repair cost sharply. Maintenance checks and steps include, so here is 2.7, this one, a mechanic creeper is used to maneuver under a car for inspections and repairs. So that is, and this is a 1 to 2 ton floor jack. A small portable floor jack may also be used in a gauge or carried in the vehicle. You can use this one to carry. Okay, this is its item used for an oil change, including a drain pan. Here is the drain pan, and oil filter and wrench, and okay, oil filter, wrench, and funnels. Quarter contain of oil have a funnel shaped top to aid a pouring. Searching for engine oil leak that involve gasket, seals, or both. Change your oil filter and oil. This is the most important maintenance your engine can receive. To do an oil change, you need an open end or box wrench to remove and retighten the oil drain plug. A container will be needed to catch the oil as it is drained from the engine. Usually an oil filter wrench will be needed. Be sure to get the correct size wrench for your filter. To refill the engine with oil, you may need a funnel or pouring support. Most plastic containers of engine oil have funnel shaped top to aid in pouring. Remove the automatic transmission pan to change fluid and replace the filter and pan gasket. A few vehicles may not require remove of the pan to change the transmission fluid or the fluid. Doing your own lubrications. There are number of lubrication points on a car that most people overlook and don't service until they start to give you trouble. Those includes body hygiene, door strike plates, door track, hood latches, trunk latches, fuel door things, hinges and latches, leakage pipe, pivot point, and weather splitting. Always consult your owner's manual for the correct lubricant and service intervals for those components. Most cars today require no lubrications of the chassis and suspension tank to permanently lubricate components. Some lubricants are shown. Those include penetrating spray lubricants, oil, and grease. Here are some varieties of supplier available for car maintenance, including lubricant, oil, grease, spray, cleaner, hand wiper, latex gloves, and floor dry. And those may be purchased at a retail parts store. Now checking the steering linkage for play or loosen. If you can wiggle or rattle the steering mechanisms, have it checked by our technicians. Checking for automatic transmission leaks. If you find any leak, take the car to repair current or a specialty transmission facilities. Checking the lubricant level in a manual or automatic transmissions, differential or translex. Checking the external clutch and transmission leakage to be sure that no loosen exists and that a manual transmission clutch's leakage is adjusted properly. Some clutch mechanisms are self-adjusting. Inspecting the drivetrain including the universal joints or constant velocity joints for losing and play. Drive axle boot should not be torn or leaking. Inspecting the inside of your tires for slide that either grass or brake fluid is leaking. As mentioned earlier, if you find leaking brake fluid inside a wheel, you should have the brake system checked by a licensed professional technicians as soon as possible. Inspecting the parking brakes parking brake cable to see if it needed tightening. Checking your shocks absorb or MacPherson struts for leaking or damage to see if they need replacement. Inspecting their muffler, tailpipe and exhaust systems for smashes pipe holes, rust out parts and broken strap and hangers. Some of the special purpose tools mentioned pay for themselves immediately through the money you save. For example, tools to change oil or oil filter will be paid for after 1 or 2 changes. It will take a little longer to pay for the jacks and jack stands with saving oil from oil and filter changes. However, because the typical car weight more than a ton and a fuel size picked up or SUV may be more than 2 ton, you can afford to work under a car without a protections of proper support. So that is all about in this video. In the next part we will talk about this tooling, basics maintenance, basic machine tool, then supply and accessories, and maintenance and minor repairs and major repairs and tune up and basic electric work. So thanks for watching and keep watching.